Hello and welcome to Move the Line Prop Drop Show presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. I'm Ryan Noonan, back to talk about the best way, the most profitable way to bet on NFL football, and that is through player props here with my friends Connor Allen, John Hyslop. We are live 3 p.m. Eastern every Friday on the 4for4 Bets YouTube channel. And you can find the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts later in the day. But you want to get on YouTube, you want to watch us, it's on Twitter now as well. This is where you want to be. If you want the best chance to get the live number, same price. The YouTube place is where you want to be. Come check us out. Connor, what's going on, buddy? Coming off of a red hot 10-1 last week. Is that correct? 10-1?
10-1. So it's my best week publicly ever, like by a lot, like not even close. And so it was in honor of Slop's 300 bowling week, I believe, last year, or like 299 or whatever it ended up being. That's why like I had to get up, to make sure that I could compete with Slop's 299. Like him, I fell one play short. Daniel Jones, apparently doesn't need bleak neighbors. He's got Darius Slayton. So, I mean, why haven't they been doing this all along? Who knows? But apparently Darius Slayton is just the man. And so Daniel Jones can rip for 250. That under was busted very, very quickly.
Yeah. Crazy week. Awesome. Glad for the subscribers because I was on the other side of it the last couple of weeks. So, they're just chasing, Connor stuff is where you want to be. You're going to get back on the winning track this week. Slop, what's going on with you, bud?
Just living the dream. It disgusts me to hear that so many overs or so many unders did so well last week. I'm glad the subscribers did well. That's awesome. I did great on the 1 o'clocks. It was the 4 o'clocks that got me. I think I had the Trey Tucker guy, not great, and then somebody else later on. But the 1 o'clocks was awesome, so that's good. And I don't know. I think I'm good this week though. I found 2 that I know for a fact are gonna hit. So that's good. But as always, the more we dive in, the more we'll find.
It's actually got me thinking too. It's a good idea. On top of the our attempts to win $1 million for us and our subscribers, really with the intention of shutting down a sports book, which would be wild. Mm-hmm. We should just parlay because I feel really good about mine this week too. So I feel like we're already 4 for 4. Connor's coming off of a 10-1 week. How can we not feel good about Connor's plays? We should also, on top of our Millie parlay, just kind of be parlaying all of ours as well, right? I mean, that seems like such an easy layup. Right?
Literally.
I mean, we're not going to win $1 million off of it, but here we are. So
get something.
Something's better than nothing, I've been told. So
every day it is.
Yeah, we hit that Conklin one in our Millie parlay last week, and I was like, oh, we're winning a Millie.
Yeah, man, that was guys. I mean, hats off to me for that. That was
a great call.
I mean, that was just incredible.
That was
We could have gotten one more, but they didn't give us I think he got an extra one, did he? Oh wait, no, he got 6. I took him for 5. That's what happened.
Okay.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, we were chasing the ceiling outcome for Amari Cooper. Amari was one of the wins for Connor last week. Though, if you guys watched any of that game, it just looked like that's the first time those two dudes have thrown the ball around together. That's probably Deshaun more than anything, but it was pretty rough. So Amari let us down.
60 on the nose too, though, for all the people that had 60. I thank God. He got that pretty early too to not get another ball like that. Those are the worst way to lose. Almost happened with Kittle last night at 49. So everybody with 50 plus was just like, dude, please catch another ball. Come on, don't do this. But yeah. So he was kind of there. It's my point. I didn't mean to interrupt, but he was
we're close.
No shade to he got there on the 60 plus. Just all the latter guys. Yeah, Deshaun Watson. That was his fault though, not Amari.
Yeah. I mean, the binary prop is 49.5, which is crazy low considering how he was peppered with targets against that defense. But absolutely abysmal. We'll get back on the wagon this week and maybe we'll look to parlay the plays we have as well. Want to remind folks that this is your best shot to get all these plays. They're going into our Discord moments before to our subscribers at 4 for 4. So there's a chance you're watching the show, you're watching live, you're ready to go, you jump in, by the time you get in, it's already moved. Well, that's because we give it to our subscribers first. We want to, help take care of the people that take care of us. If you want to get access to that, head over to 4for4.com/plans. The betting subscription gets you access to all the plays, but also everything that we do at 4 for 4. So if you're still playing DFS, season long, anything, articles, rankings, tools, projections, all that stuff is covered there. We have a partner with Rebet. You can get it for really cheap, literally $10. Download Rebet, use promo code 4for4bet. Buy $10 of Rebet cash. It's a sweepstakes pick'em style sports book. They also have a prop builder, lots of different stuff there. Reach out directly if you have any questions. But it's a great way to get everything at 4 for $10 for the rest of the year. Again, no loopholes. That's it. 48 hours later, you'll get an email, get access to your betting sub, and you're good to go. So great stuff. Check it out. Again, let us know if you have any questions. Information there in the show notes. All right. Connor, 10-1. I start with you anyway, but I mean, how can I not start with you coming off of a 10-1 week? I do think there's an over in the card at some point this week too, but I'll let you do whatever you want to do first. I'll probably start with an under. Floor is yours.
Yeah, got to start with an under, but it's kind of like an over in a sense too. So this is like, I think Slot might like this. So I'm playing Mike Evans under 4.5 receptions. It's -114 at FanDuel is the best number. So Evans draws his buddy Marshawn Lattimore this week, squared off 12 times in his career. He has fewer than 5 receptions in 10 of those 12 matchups. The 2 that he went over was 2017 and 2018. Beyond the tough matchup, Bucks are facing off against Spencer Rattler. Spencer Rattler, 5th round pick. Not a very good player, unsurprising to most. I already played his under as well, but I just can't imagine them pushing the Bucks here. So I think we're going to see a little bit lower volume. The total's 41. Probably going to be a lot of running on both sides here. I'm interested in some Bucky Irving, overs as well, potentially when those drop. But I'm betting the over on how often Marshawn Lattimore breaks up passes or defends Mike Evans well. That's how you got to think about it, Slot. But yeah, like Mike Evans under 4.5 receptions. Again, like he could probably end up with 2, 3, 4. Maybe it's a long one like he did in like one of those games a couple years ago. Just doesn't seem likely that he sees, 5, 6, 7 catches here in this one in a tough spot with like less volume.
Yeah, always one of the better cornerback wide receiver duos to match up with and watch here. Slop, I don't know how you tried to sell us on this being an over somehow.
Yeah,
I'm
feeling this is an over. I mean, I like the commitment to it. Here's what I'll say. No offense to any sub here, okay? But, I hope Spencer Rattler goes 350 on these dudes just for all the hate. Like, come on, man. Like he's probably not good. But I'm just saying it's his first game ever. He's inside. It's nothing to lose, dude. I hope we see just because the Bucks, they're not great defending the pass. I mean, we just saw them give up 500 yards passing. Just saying, I don't think it's going to happen, though. I mean, that's just hope. That's not like reality. That's probably not going to happen. But I would die. The haters, let the haters get some of this. What if Spencer's good? We need another quarterback in this league. We do. And
did you bet his alts? I feel like that would be
I will not bet him. There's no chance I'm doing it. Maybe Saturday night, though. Because we're going out and that could happen. Later, Spencer 300 plus 900. But yeah, I don't know. The under there is the play. I wouldn't take the over just because the guy, he could get thrown out of the game in the first quarter for taking a swing at this dude. So I mean, there's so many outs with this. So you have an extra out with that. You know what I mean? And then the fact that Lattimore's good, or what's his name, Lattimore. Yeah. So the running aspect of it is what kind of gets me. The Bucks can just run if they want to, and they know it. And it's that sucks. That's going to ruin that game, to be honest with you. I was going to be all over Chris Olave, and then this happened, and now nothing.
Yep.
So I'm kind of hurt, and that's why I want Spencer Rattler to go off.
To be fair, the Bucks are getting a little healthier too, defensively. I just think they're going to blitz a ton. So it's going to be maybe Rattler makes a play or two, but I mean they're going to blitz an amazing amount, and they're a little bit healthier. I mean they did the same thing to Jalen Hurts when he had nobody and he sucked. Exactly,
and that's the problem. Is I want to bet it. My heart says Rattler 350 plus, but my head says Rattler probably won't even throw for $150.
Slop, I was talking to someone else about a different play today, and I was like, man, this seems like something Slop would like a Drake May 200 plus passing yards. I know he has no one to throw to, but the number is 150 or 160.
Dude.
Guy's a gunslinger. I took his under on completions again, unsurprisingly, but I think the yardage is actually I don't know, they're gonna blitz him a ton. It's all it takes is 2 or 3.
Not that crazy. You could get some of those guys with receptions too, because it's gonna be like Hunter Henry or the Polk kid is who Tommy G likes. So he kind of sold me on him this morning, but I don't know. I think the Texans kind of start whooping them. now you got to throw. Like it doesn't seem like the worst move in the world, but you are betting on a guy that literally a rookie that has 0 offensive line. Like it's bad. Like that line's terrible.
Yeah, the more appealing play is the Drake May alt rushing stuff, right? The scramble rate's really high naturally.
Running,
just takes off running, and then it's like it's high as is 25.5 or whatnot, but like just what's 50 plus, like he just starts running all day. I mean, pretty good athlete.
Crazy.
No.
No.
So one play, we just gave you 4 other plays.
Yeah, I was going to say, sorry, I kind of went off on a little tangent.
Well,
there,
that happens.
Yeah, I mean, so same game. Back to the Spencer Ratliff thing. There was a Spencer Ratliff comment about like, I just have to feed my guys. Like I just have to throw to Chris Olave all the time.
Chris Olave, dude.
So it's like it might be kind of like the Watson Amari thing last week, where it might just be like super inefficient 12 targets for Olave.
Yeah, way too much volume. You know what I mean? Like you just way too much volume to be like, this is going under. It's not. It can't. Yeah. Like when you get peppered with what did Amari get? 10? I bet this guy gets 10.
Yeah.
Olave. Like, why not?
Yeah. Judy had been getting more. I think Judy had 1 target. Njoku went out again early. So yeah, it's kind of a mess. What do we think Bucky reopens at, Connor? Bucky Irving was at like high 30s, then went down, and then we're kind of basically looking at a game time decision for Rachaad White if people aren't familiar.
Yeah, I bet way too much on those 37s, 38s that were lingering when we saw Rachaad White. He's now a game time decision. I think even if he plays, we probably see a little bit more Bucky Irving. As I mentioned, again, I don't think the New Orleans is going to give much pushback. So, we're talking about 50-50, I think, on the ground here at best for Rachaad White, maybe even like 60-40 for Bucky Irving. I would, if Rachaad White plays, I think we're probably going to see like mid to high 40s for Bucky. I don't know, maybe 48-50. If Rachaad White doesn't play, I think we should see 58-60, maybe higher, and which still might be an over, to be honest. Like I think that
for sure.
Just like given what they're going to do, Bucky's played really well. So, I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, I was thinking 62.5 or something like that in that range if there was no Rachaad White. And like you said, probably still a bet. So,
yep.
Jump in the chat too if you're hanging out with us. We'll try to make some time, get to as many prop questions as we have time for at the end of the show, between making 6 to 7 figure winning parlay slips. Slop, what do you got, buddy?
Well, I'd say we stay with that Saints Bucks game. Let's go Chris Olave, 60 plus receiving yards, plus 145. I mean, I don't see how this dude doesn't just get peppered with targets. That's for one. I mean, I think it's kind of crazy. I wanted 50 plus, so 60 plus is there, but I mean, it's plus 145. I don't see how that's a problem. Receptions aren't out. I'm looking right now as we speak at the board to find out if anyone has receptions, because that could be the better way to play them. It looks like the DFS sites have it, or like the NoVig, like those type of sites.
Yeah.
Actually, my bad. FanDuel. FanDuel has over 4.5 plus 108. That's a joke. He's catching 5 balls, dude. Like, come on, guys. Like, I get that it's Spencer Rattler, but he's just going to lock into this dude. And Olave's coming off a horrible game where he got put in prison by who was that Chiefs corner? Was it McDuffie? One of the all the corners. He did nothing. It was literally Juwan Johnson. No big deal. That was a great Monday night, by the way. That was a huge win. But it was those guys. They had to use their tight end. They had to throw the runner. They could not throw it to Olave. Like the Rashid Shaheed, everybody else did their work. This week is going to be different. I think Olave can manhandle the Bucks secondary, and I think that they are going to get behind. And I don't know. We'll see. 4.5. Oh yeah, that's come on, dude. That's 5 balls. He could accidentally catch 5.
Plus 110 on DraftKings. Seeing plus 110 on DraftKings, plus 108 on FanDuel. So it's coming out. We're getting there. Connor, anything else to add? I know we kind of touched on it.
I think that I could see this offense and like the OC here, like just trying to scheme up a lot of like short stuff for Rattler to try and kind of smooth out the edges here. Maybe some like those push passes to Shaheed and like Olave and stuff like that. And I think we're going to see probably a lot of Kamara here. I just have very low expectations of this game, but yeah, Olave catching 4 or 5 balls makes a ton of sense. I think that adds up.
I kind of want to strike the yards off the record. I didn't know receptions were available.
Okay.
So strike that. Give me the receptions. And if we need to go alt for later, we could go 6+ easily at ESPN. That's like plus 185. So, I mean, we got options here, guys. I just think it's an Olave game, and I don't think that kid's going to be that bad. I don't think there's any expectations for him whatsoever. I just would not want to bet him personally because he could literally throw for 80 yards. Like that's in the realm of like outcomes.
I'm okay. I don't think he's going to be good, but I also don't think he's going to be a dumpster fire. I could be wrong. I mean, it is a tough spot. Like Todd Bowles, Connor's point, is going to make it very difficult. Is going to blitz his face off as much as possible. It's an offensive line that is having trouble holding up. I mean, it felt like early in the season they did a great job kind of disguising it with all the pre-snap motion and play action and stuff like that. It's going to get a little harder to do here, and this is going to be a tough spot to get it for sure. So, there's sometimes I want to buy into the pedigree. We're so bad at quarterbacks and evaluating this stuff, and I don't know. I think there's some.
Wouldn't be the first time I'm wrong on quarterback evaluation. Actually, I would say my hit rate is pretty low on quarterback evaluation in general. But who's hard, man? You know, like it's NFL teams are not hitting that high of a rate, and I think given the circumstances, I don't see it going well. But you never know. I mean, what if the OC just like is getting guys into space and like they're able to counter the blitz really well, or Kamara takes like 3 screens of the house. I mean, there's ways for me to lose, but
receivers are doing all the work, Connor. It ain't gonna be him. I do not think you're gonna see him just dropping 40-yard bombs all over the place. It's gonna be Shaheed took a screen to the house. Kamara took a screen to the house. One of my change on like little bubble screens, or like I said, of a 5-yard out, just little stuff. But
yeah, one of my favorite stats that I found when I was digging through it is that in his best year, Spencer Rattler's completion rate against pressure was 47% in his final year at South Carolina.
That's almost half.
Yeah, almost half. I mean, not great. Again, South Carolina, different circumstances, sure, but I don't think the kid is very good right off the bat. So we'll see.
Not great. All right, let me see. First one here for me to get started. I'm going to go. This is, it's going to feel like a little bit of a reach if you're looking at recent box scores. We're trying to get maybe a little bit of a dead cat bounce with the coaching changes, I guess. I mean, not new coaches per se, but I'm going to go with Breece Hall over 3.5 receptions. This is DraftKings seasons everywhere, pretty much. Over 3.5 for Breece Hall. I tweeted something out about it today too to kind of tip my hand a little bit, but it's been interesting to see. Like, obviously he's been a disappointment, especially in like fantasy leagues. This guy was going top 5 everywhere, but lately he's been used way more on passing downs as a pass blocker, running fewer routes. Like the last 2 games, he's failed to top the 60% route participation mark, which is again like he's been like 70 basically the last 2 years. Pretty consistently. And I think it was matchup specific. So you look the first 3 games of the season, Hall stayed in to block on 13 of his pass blocking or, passing down snaps, 13 total in 3 games. The last 2 games, he's had 12 against the Vikings, or 12 against Denver, and 11 against the Vikings. So like basically doubled his season rates in each of those 2 games. But those are the 2 teams that blitz more than anyone else in the league. So I think it was very much matchup specific against those blitz heavy teams. Now we get Buffalo, who blitzes at the lowest rate in the league, by far, comfortably last 15% of the dropbacks against them are blitzes. And they're the best team to target running back receptions against. Highest targets, most receptions, most yards. So I think we see more Breece Hall. Even week 3 against New England, where they were cruising in that game, like 24-3. Even that game, he ran like almost 70% of the routes and dropbacks, had 5 targets, caught 4 balls. So even when the game script got wonky in that one, he still topped this. The games previously was like 5 and 7. So he's been cruising. He's averaging like over 5.5 per game in the first couple of weeks. So we just need to get 4 here against the Bills. I absolutely love it. And again, readily available everywhere at 3.5. Sloppus feels like something you'd like.
Yeah, I'm in. That's it. That's it. That's all you need to know. I'm in.
Oh, that's
You
amazing.
had me at over.
I really like the matchup note there about like pass blocking. That makes a ton of sense here. Also, I mean, after 22 targets to Garrett Wilson, like I feel like they're going to try and spread the ball around maybe a little bit more to like guys like Breece Hall, get him involved. We saw a pretty, I think, lateral move between Nathaniel Hackett and Todd Downing. I'm not sure how the Jets managed to pick up like the worst crew of coaches in the league, like offensively, but they did. I mean, this is like, I forgot that he was on the team, to be honest. And like, I didn't know, I forgot about it until they got him. So I expect nothing from the play calling aspect, but the reality is that Aaron Rodgers is going to check out of or do whatever he wants anyway. So yeah. I actually don't blame Nathaniel Hackett that much for what happened. I actually blame Rodgers significantly more because he's always just been doing whatever he wanted anyway. So like, if he doesn't like the play call when he gets up to the line, he's just going to change it. So maybe there's obviously some other things that they can do to make his life easier. But again, these are all things that he dealt with in Green Bay when he was with Nathaniel Hackett himself. So yeah, I think this Breece Hall over here is pretty interesting. I looked at yards. What is yards? 24.5, 25.5.
Yeah, I looked at yards too. Again, that's
minus 130 on the over though for yards. Like I'm not laying minus 130 on yards. Like yardage anything.
Yeah. Yeah, you just catch the ball in the flag, get cleaned up by linebacker, and you're donezo. But like you still caught the ball for us. So, and I think part of the handicap is route participation in receptions versus breaking one. So I'll often default to receptions anyway. But yeah, I think that there's something to the pass blocking stuff. I just was up later than I should have been last night and was wormholing in. And I'm like, that seems light for him. Why hasn't he been involved? And found that nugget that I thought was actually pretty useful. So
isn't that the best now that we have so many good stats from like PFF, Fantasy Points, NFL Pro, like all these like data suites have come out that have helped us be like, hey, why is this the way it is? And these are questions that we never were able to answer before. And now we are. So it's awesome.
It's great. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. All right, back to you, Connor. I think we got an over coming in here. Feeling pretty good about it.
We do. We do. So
Slop just sat up in his chair. He was leaning back. He just is like, woo.
Let's go. You had me at over.
I'm going with AJ Brown over 68.5 receiving yards, 100 plus receiving yards, 120 plus receiving yards. And I might keep going, honestly, just like for fun. Officially, that's all I played, which is like 1.5 units basically. But there's two things here. There's some fantastic notes from, got to shout out Dalton, who did some research here, as well as Rich Rebar. So two matchup advantages here. Dating back to like basically his whole career, Brown has been targeted on 37% of his routes against man, only 22% of zone. The Browns play one of the highest rates of man. They also play one of the highest rates of cover three. That against cover three, 38% target per out run, 33% target share, 45% air yard share. Now he's matching with the Browns. Grant Delpit's out. Denzel Ward's banged up. I think he might play practice today, but like a not 100%, Denzel Ward against AJ Brown is very much something I'm into. Brown had 5 catches for 119 yards in week 1. Just draws an awesome matchup. My only concern with this is like twofold, is that he's not 100% or there's not enough volume because the Browns are dead offensively, but he can get here on like 3 catches, like literally like 3 or 4 catches, maybe 1 catch, actually, to be honest. We're talking about a 70-yard rip to start the game, and then we're cooking with all of the rest. So yeah, it's one of those things where like, he's just an awesome matchup. The Eagles have not looked great offensively with all their injuries. They got Lane Johnson back. They got Devonta Smith back. Like, I think the Eagles are ready to cook here.
Love it. Slop, what do you think, buddy?
I'm in. I mean, you got to think that it's AJ Brown time. The fact that he's even just him being on the field makes him a bet. Does that make sense? Yeah. Just with their whole situation, like not to rehash everything, but everything they've been through so far this season, the fact that he's got pads on and a helmet probably means he's getting a buck plus.
I mean, Connor, you mentioned it to me yesterday, and I was like, oh man, absolutely in for sure. Love it. Feels too light. Feels like, part of it's just out of sight, out of mind a little bit. It's a beat up Cleveland secondary. Yep. Grant Delpit's out. Like Juan Thornhill, their like deep safety, has been out basically since week 1. So they're rolling out, and their 3rd and 4th safeties are also a little dinged up. So I don't even know for sure that those guys are playing. Ronnie Hickman, like these guys haven't even been full practicing. So like, Yeah, it just is a matter of like the only thing that's disruptive is just if Myles Garrett just makes life a living hell for Jalen Hurts, but like still, like typically you see when quarterbacks are under pressure, their average at the target spikes. They take shots deep often in those scenarios too, and Hurts is no different. So yeah, Brown to the moon here, I think is definitely within the range of outcomes. So
we saw Brian Thomas Jr. hit him once, I think, as well. We've seen like other guys just have like massive games against this team here. So I don't know. I think it's going to be awesome. I'm very excited.
Yeah, good stuff. Slop, what do you got?
Let's go Caleb Williams, 250 plus.
Let's go.
We can climb as high as we want, really. But I mean, 250 plus right now is plus 110. I got a plus 118, no big deal. Just bragging a little bit. But but yeah, the Jaguars, they kind of give it up to the quarterback. Like I think they're second worst in the NFL. Quarterback, like yards to opposing quarterback, passing yards. Flacco just went 300 plus on him. CJ Stroud went 300 plus on him. Who else did? In Josh Allen's defense, he would have, but they beat them so bad that he did not get a chance to.
Yep.
263 he went. Deshaun Watson is the only quarterback who has not really gone, a little bit off. He went a buck 86, which for him, that's going off.
That's off.
For new him. So the idea that he could throw for buck 86, Caleb can definitely get 250. And here's kind of not a hot take, but I don't know if the Bears are going to be able to run. I think it might be the Jaguars might be like a baby pass funnel because they're not that good against the run, but they're not bad. So if a team like the Bears, like I said, just can't move the ball on the ground, they will be able to move it through the air with Caleb Williams. Like he'll at least be able to run himself. And dude, you got Rome, you got DJ Moore. Allen's going to play. I mean, there's just a lot in Chicago. So for that reason, 250 plus feels like a pretty safe floor. And again, if you want to go 275, that's in play. I'll get you the exact number right now. But they've got him, I believe, over 325 as well. Yeah, so you got 275 at plus 220, 300 plus 390, and 325 if you want to get like loose. That's plus 700.
I thought there'd be some Caleb stuff on the show today, so I approve.
Yeah. I have it on my list of like alts to play potentially. It's Slop. I don't even know if you know this, or Noonan, did we talk about this? My wife won $1,500 on a parlay last weekend at DraftKings Sportsbook. One of the legs was Caleb Williams. Did we talk about this?
No. So, was that the one by Wrigley Field?
Yep. Yeah.
That's the one, huh?
So we're talking like 3 minutes before the game, and I had put in a bunch of like Joe Flacco overs and stuff, and I was like, pounding that just like solo. I was like, I got to put in some SGPs. And so I'm like, well, I don't want my wife just sitting there on her phone the entire time, not like watching the games, getting excited. So I'm like, who do you like this week? She's like, oh, Caleb Williams. I want him to be good. She's like, Joe Flacco sounds fun. I'm like, good. Sounds good. And then she's like, I like Mark Andrews a lot. And I'm like, I don't think anyone likes Mark Andrews a lot right now. And she's like, well, just play him. I'm like, okay. So I played 40 plus for Mark Andrews, 0 yards in the first half, finished with 60, Caleb 250, and then Flacco 275, $50 to win 1,400. And she cashed. So,
man,
it was electric. I'm not going to lie. It was wild.
That's amazing.
Good feeling, man. Parlays are fun, dude.
Yeah. Cause I thought we were dead. Andrew's 0 yards.
He did nothing for like the first 3 quarters. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But never in doubt, we were always positive. She knew. She's like, because I'm playing this, it's going to win. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. And it wins. So there you go.
She got you on the week of your son running too. I mean, like what a time to be alive for her, And that's good for you. You don't even have to spend the money to get her a bag or, she can do it all on her own.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
She wanted to buy like a vacuum, like one of those like Roombas or whatever. And I was like, that's perfect. Get your own money to do that. This is good because I don't want to spend $600 on a robot vacuum. I
got a great vacuum for you.
Did you get one?
I got you. I got a vacuum.
It was Prime Day the other day, but I didn't buy one. But I don't know if you got any.
I was thinking about getting one. I went Dyson. I've been a Dyson guy for probably 7 years now.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I'd get a tattoo if they wanted me to. Like, I like them that much, dude. They're good.
Should we be sponsored by Dyson? Is that a
We
thing?
could.
Maybe we should-
Dude, let me talk to them.
Shock vacuum. I can call my wife in here and let her. I find it out for the folks. But there's a new vacuum out there in the space.
What's it called?
I don't know. I don't know if again I use it. I'm not familiar with the brand name, but
I'm telling you, the Dyson's legit, man. We so the dogs weren't really allowed on the couch when we first got them, and my wife was like, "Well, you got the vacuum the couch then." So I vacuum it every day. Literally every morning, I get the Dyson, dude. It's nice, bro.
This is great.
Just get a vacuum.
Man, we need a vacuum parlay.
Get a Roomba, get a Dyson.
The Dyson vacuum parlay of the week, brought to you by John Stop Connor Allen, and I mean we're already doing ad reads and we're not even sponsored yet.
Yeah, dude, get a Dyson, guys. I'm telling you, change your life.
I just texted the wife to find out the brands again. I moved on from a Dyson to this new one, and I feel really good about it.
Okay. Well, what sold me originally is called the Animal. Like, that's pretty sweet. Like, for a name of vacuum, like, it's called an Animal. I'm like, nice, dude. Like, I'll try it out. And then just all the pieces, dude. You just connect them, bam, bam, bam. It's handheld. Like, everything about it's nice. But I will check out another brand vacuum if it's better than a Dyson, though. So if you were a Dyson guy before and you're saying this is better, I'll check it out.
I was a Dyson guy before. We now have an Electrolux.
Okay.
Electrolux is the brand.
Electrolux.
It is fantastic. Multiple settings, wireless, easy charge, hard floors, carpet, detachable little guy to get the stairs. Fantastic. Love it.
Okay.
Love the Electrolux.
All right.
Highly recommend it.
I'll pass that along.
Yeah. Let the wife know.
Yeah, but the Roomba is automatic. I was thinking about because we just got the new floors downstairs.
It's just not getting in the corner slop. We know it's not getting in the corners.
Yeah, and that's the thing though. But like, if it could just go around, like while I'm not around, you know what I mean? Maybe I get the corners at some point. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Like, we could work something out, me and the Roomba. You know what I mean? It's like I gotta sweep the floors too.
It's true.
Oh man, sorry, I took us way off track there. Anyway, Slop, I love the Williams play. He's gonna throw a bunch. I played DeAndre Swift under. I played Christian Kirk under at like way better numbers. I think Roshan unders, if I didn't already play Swift unders, are good. They're gonna pass the ball a ton. I think Caleb Alts are fun. I'll probably play some just for fun as well, personally.
Almost pulled the trigger on Caleb rushing as well. I think Caleb rushing is sneaky.
Me too.
I think it was like 18.5 or something like that. Jacksonville played a little less man than they were early in the season, though. I do think there's obviously a strong correlation, as we've touched on in the past, with man defenses in rushing quarterbacks. And Caleb had a couple of games this year where he's, I think what did he have, like 35 or something last week too. Like, I think there's obviously some scrambling upside. These edges can get pressure on him, collapse the pocket, he takes off. Like longest 10.5, over 18, 19.5. I think those are in play too for Caleb if you're looking for angles, and I probably will, right? I mean, we want that early morning sweat. So I think I have a tackle coming in that game here soon too. So
love it.
We want to have some
perfect 9:30 bet, dude. Is Caleb 250 plus? I mean, that'll get you going. Cup of coffee, little Caleb.
Yeah, I think it's a good way to start the day.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next one for me, and then we'll start to build in some of the $1 million tickets. Again, jump in the chat if there's anything you want us to talk about here outside of vacuums. We'll happy to get to it here at the end of the show. I absolutely love this. I love this play so much. I love it. It's moved a little bit since I wrote it up, but I actually probably like it even a little bit more because I wasn't worried about the yards. Now we got a better price. Darnell Mooney, longest reception, over 20.5. Minus 108 on FanDuel. It's 21.5 at a bunch of other spots. It's absolutely fine. I don't know if people realize, like, Mooney's playing every down for the Falcons. Like, this is not a part-time player. He's on the field like 97% of the snaps this season. They're running 11, almost as much as the Rams. So like they were in 3 receiver sets all the time and playing a lot of like this perimeter down the field role. Now that we've seen Drake London into the slot even a little bit more. Now we get the Panthers, absolute dumpster fire defensively. They have no pass rush. Their best pass rusher is Jadeveon Clowney. He's probably out in this game. We've seen clean pocket Kirk just cook all season long. I think that's going to happen again here. Props in this game in general are probably a little sneaky. Monotone and I were, mentioned that too. Like lots of ways here. But if you kind of look outside of week 1, against the Steelers, Mooney caught one ball in that game. It was a 15-yard catch, so he got actually close to it. But he has in the past 4 games, he's caught at least 3 balls. He's got a longest of 41, 26, 36, and 24 yards. He's been targeted 26 times at 10 or more air yards down the field. He only has 12 targets under 10 air yards. So this is how this guy is working. It's the 3rd most in the league here, more than double his like sub 10-yard targets. So love this one here against a bad tackling team, a bad secondary, over 20.5, longest reception. He'll probably do it a couple times in this game. I think Mooney like 48.5 is his like reception line is low. 4.5 receptions gets a little dicey if the Panthers don't keep up a little bit, but absolutely love the longest angle here. Slop, what do you think?
I feel like they throw it to him every time. It's like every time you have a different Falcons pass catcher, you're always trying to like figure out like who that ball just go to, and you're like, it's Mooney again. You know what I mean? Like over and over and over. So no, I like it. I think Kirk really likes that guy too. Just throwing deep. If you go back and watch, I mean, I know we're talking about stats, we're looking at different stats, but just the eyeball test itself, you'll see it. I mean, he just wants to throw deep to him. Like that's literally like what he's thinking every play, it feels like. So yeah, I'll take it. The Panthers are terrible too, guys, by the way.
Terrible.
So bad.
They are very bad. So the thing is, Dalton might be able to not hang around, but like hang around enough. So you could get 4 quarters of this thing having life, which that would be even better. But I don't think you're going to need it though.
Yeah, and Stu were talking about that, how this game could get a little hot, and like if there's any pushback from Dalton here, I mean, this game could go wild, especially, I mean, I think it could be a Bijan Robinson week too. Like, I mean, the Panthers up front are just terrible. So like if there's ever going to be a Bijan Robinson week, I think this could be it as well. And then if Dalton can give pushback here, like Xavier Legette's kind of coming into his own. Deontay Johnson is always injured, so I think he plays. But yeah, I think this is, I mean, it's a good look on Mooney here on the longest, especially. My only concern would be like they just like are score so fast or run so much that there's not enough volume. But again, that's solved by the longest because all you need is one.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I think he'll look for one. Yeah, I think you're going to get multiple opportunities for it. Put it that way. You know what I mean? Like minus 108, you said. So, and you get multiple cracks at it. I'll take that.
Yeah. There's only one game where he had like a really low ADOT. It was against the Chiefs. He still had a 36-yard catch in the game. With like a 3-yard ADOT. Like the rest of his ADOTs per game have been like 15. He's getting worked deep down the field. So yeah, Brian brings up in the chat too, have it on the notes. Mooney is a reverse correlation candidate for sure. FanDuel had his reception line at 3.5, like massively juiced, whereas everyone else had 4.5. So if FanDuel comes back to 4.5 on the reception side, I think Mooney is a great look. Cause again, 60 plus is very much in play. He's been doing that often. Under 4.5, 60 plus is kind of cooking with gas, I think. So yeah, very much on the table for reverse correlation if FanDuel gets on board. So, all right, gents. I got one more. I might save it. We could talk about, for the sake, we got about 20 minutes. I think it's a good amount of time to build some of this stuff out. If we want to start talking about any alts, any same game parlays. Again, I think to what Connor's touching on there, I think this game is a good same game parlay if you bank on the ceiling stuff, like Deontay Johnson on the other side, because it's somewhat narrow in terms of how like these teams work. Like Chuba Hubbard, probably Deontay Johnson, Drake London, Mooney. Like it's pretty clean. Obviously you can get some Bijan in there too. But yeah, there's lots of ways for ceiling outcomes if this game kind of starts cooking. So I like a lot of those legs, and I think it's a nice little SGP. But yeah, some other stuff that, I think some of the legs that Connor started here too, like AJ Brown, ceiling outcomes should be in whatever our millionaire stuff is.
100%. I'm in on that. Do you want to add Breece Hall receptions as an alt in there? Like, I mean, what's the most receptions he's had like in a game? I don't even know.
7 this year in the game.
I mean, 6 is like plus 300. AJ Brown. I don't know how high we want to go on AJ Brown. What, are we trying to build 3-1s, 4-1s? I mean, last week we did like 8-1s or 6-1s, and that was like, it wasn't bad. I mean, I don't know. What are we thinking?
I would say let's let the play decide.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I want to get your feeling on this. I played this before the show, and I want to put this in the alts here too. I love and I think it's in the chat here. Anything Yeah, Meg's got it here. Anything Gibbs, Monty is just too good this week. I played Gibbs over 57.5 rushing yards, which I really don't understand why that was the line. He's topped 75 in the last 3 games. There's a lot of good coach speak heading into the bye week with like he's getting his legs under him because he was dealing with a little bit of a hammy in the preseason. They want to keep going to him. They get Frank Ragnow back. I think that the Lions do whatever they want to do offensively in that game. If that game becomes competitive, it's because Dak shows a pulse and starts to push them a little bit. But I don't think it's because there's any stalling out on the Lions side. There's no pass rush coming. They're like dealing with like edge 5 and 6 basically on the depth chart. If that was even a thing, those guys weren't even there. Eric Kendricks might be out. He hasn't practiced. So like it's bad. So ceiling outcomes for Gibbs, I think are very, very, very interesting. So I think like 75 plus 80 plus is like, I don't know, plus 160 or something like that. Thoughts on Gibbs?
I don't want to take a running back over because that's kind of like taking an under for me. But here's what I will say. I am not taking Jameson Williams this week, even though I think he can get there, all that, blah, 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 blah. But the Lions can just run the ball, dude. So it's going to
That's why you play the uncorrelated. I already played it.
It's going to ruin the whole. Yeah, maybe the uncorrelated might be the weak one because like the Cowboys run defense ruins Detroit's pass game. That's the move. If you're taking somebody from Detroit, that's where you're going to go. You know what I mean? It's kind of like last night with Mason from the 49ers. I know he got hurt, but he was well on his way to 100 plus. You know what I mean? It's like, and it was just because you're like, dude, you can't really take 49ers. You're going to get some like Debo got his, Kittle got his, but you know what I'm trying to say? Like it was definitely like they were all in play and you were going to need a big play to get home. And they're going to be tough for Detroit. So, because again, you can just run it. Other side though, Cowboys pass is all in play. Like Jalen Tolbert, maybe CD. I don't know if his number's high. Ferguson possibly, but I'm on Tolbert 5+ receptions. I think he could go 6-7.
Oh,
so if we want to look into that, I mean,
plus 270 for 6, plus 550 for 7. 7 is a lot of catches, but
that's a lot. 6 though, 250. I mean, I feel like that's happening. I mean,
that's fine. I like that and Gibbs alts paired into one as part of this. I mean, I want to build this on Caesars again just because FanDuel's still lacking on some alts randomly. I don't know why. So I'm gonna build this on Caesars. But all right, we'll start with Tolbert, 6+. Gibbs 100+, or do you want to go less than that? 80+, 90+? I mean,
80+.
80+.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, he's been,
let's
right
just
there.
get home. You know what I mean? Let's get home. Like I think we can. Like I think we can have a pretty big payout based on how many legs we're gonna have, and I think they're all like you say we don't need anybody to set a record. You know what I mean? Like just good players to have good games.
All right, I'm in on that. That makes sense. Okay. So then we got those two, and then what do we want to do with Caleb? 300 or less than 300, like 275?
275. What's that? What's the price on that?
It's like plus 1 something. Let me see here. It is plus 180 or plus 333 for 300+.
Ooh, 333. That's the what's that? The method, the home run method. Remember that? If something
the
plus
999
at BetMGM, it's guaranteed to hit a home run.
that
was someone's method for real. Like if they're 333 at BetMG, they're gonna hit a home run.
After what I've seen on Twitter the last couple of days, I'm not surprised with anything at this point.
Oh yeah, man, they're going, bro. They're coming after me, dude. You see what's going on?
No, are you catching heat?
What'd you do now?
Nah, this kid is he was like doxing me, dude. But I don't really care. And you know what I'm saying? Like, no, he put my name and address and phone number. I'm just like, dude, I'm from when you had a phone book and it was everybody's stuff was in there and they dropped it on your board. So I really don't care if someone has, I'm not famous or anything like that.
Is your name actually John Highslop?
What's up?
Is your name actually John Highslop? Or are you?
Yeah, that's the thing. I was like, dude, there's literally a picture of me with my government name on it. You know what I'm saying? You can just Google that and but yeah, no, people are wild, bro.
the sneaky secret in the industry is that there are a lot of people whose names are not actually their names, who are like big figures that you think are their names that are not their names.
Really?
Yeah.
Give me one. Name a name.
Warren Sharp is not actually Warren Sharp.
Okay, yeah, I knew that wasn't.
Neither first nor last.
Yeah, I knew that was. I knew that.
I mean, there's a couple other ones that I don't want to dox actually.
Yeah, I know. That's fine. That's fine. I just wanted one. That's a good one. Yeah, no, that's not his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, but yeah, other than that, like I didn't know what else was going on Twitter.
That's yeah. I mean, there's other crazy. I mean, Twitter's been wild with all the calling our shots stuff, and then
oh man, they go after him. That guy's an awesome dude too.
Is he?
I mean, yeah. Of course, it's a not EV to parlay 5 legs to get a plus 100, but it's his $10.
My favorite thing was that he just like didn't know what EV was for a second, but then,
I don't think he knew what they were talking about because they're 2 different EVs. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he thought they were talking about like the board cleaners, like the Odds Jam EV.
Yeah, there's the top down EV, like
EV. Period.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
Yeah, it was weird.
Which I agree with, but then he like doubled down and then tripled down and then was like, oh, like wait, like actually no, like you guys are right, like sorry, whatever. He kind of like realized he's like, no, that's not what EV means, like
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, at least he knows that, but it took him like way too long and he took way too much heat prior to that. So I was like, all right, well, I'm just sitting here laughing and like he was getting math lessons and I'm like, guys made a ton of money from giving out plays, so whatever. I'm not gonna hate too much, but I thought that was certainly an interesting development there because I think his parlays are mostly pretty bad, but I mean, it's fun.
I like to look at like where it all stemmed from. It all stemmed from the ladders. So it's like this guy got a bunch of attention, someone didn't like it, and now it's negative EV. Like, well, yeah, of course. Here's the thing, though. The most you lose is $10 doing that. Whatever, dude. Like, I don't know. There's just bigger fish to fry. You know what I mean? Like, that's all.
Yeah. Yep, for sure. Sorry, I again derailed us here. This is becoming a problem. All right, so we got Caleb in there. We got Tolbert. We got Gibbs.
What did we do with Brees Hall's receptions?
Oh yeah, we wanted to have Brees Hall receptions, and I got to add AJ Brown. What do we want on Brees Hall receptions? 6, 5?
I think 5+ is good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I'm not a big running back receptions like ladder guy. Like, I will.
Yeah, but did you hear the handicap slab? I mean, it was absolutely mint.
It is fire, but man, 5 on a running back. But he's not a normal running back. So if you wanted to go 6, we could. But 5, I feel like is fine.
We'll go 5.
We'll be waiting on that on Monday night. We'll just be like, dude, all we gotta have is Brees Hall to get 5. We're all set.
Yeah.
Cash out will be for like what the total is. You know what I mean? Like it'll be for like what the ticker would be normally.
Right.
You want to cash that out now, guys?
Yeah. What do we do for?
We're there. What else are we looking at? What do we
do for AJ Brown? Do we do 100?
Yeah, I think 100's fine. Plus 230. I mean, that's not bad. Some other ones that I think are interesting. DeAndre Hopkins overs and alts are kind of in play against the Colts. I mean, this is like the stoppable force of Will Levis versus movable object. Colts secondary, they're allowing like 300 yards a pop to like a bunch of jabronis like Justin Fields and like Trevor Lawrence carving them up. I don't know.
I'm ready to get hurt again.
They want to run the ball so damn much, and teams skew so run heavy against the Colts.
Well, then Pollard, because the Colts can't stop.
I love Pollard.
You know what I mean? Like we can do Pollard rushing yards. I think that's a play. Like I do too. Really do. I think that offense is going to have is a spike game, but for them, like not a real spike game, but like for them, a spike game.
His number 63.5. I mean, 80+ is going to get us close to like almost 2-1.
80+.
Because the Colts run defense has been good. Like they've been like they're like top 10 in a lot of metrics.
Are they? I thought they were bad. I have them written down right here. It says bad.
Right? They were last week. I didn't look again this week.
No, they're decent on like success rate.
Okay.
They've given up the second most. That's the thing is teams skew run heavy. Right, they have the lowest pass rate over expectation against them. They've given up the second most rushing yards in the league. So like teams aren't super efficient against them. Yeah. And I also think like they're trying to hide Will Levis. I think it's just a fact. He's got a shoulder injury. I think they want to pound the ball a little bit. Last week they did the same thing. They wanted to hide their quarterback 2 weeks ago against Miami. They had a negative 19.5% pass rate over expectation in that game. You saw like 22 Pollard carries. And he's been awesome. I think this is like pre-injury Pollard. So, I've been talking about the Pollard play all week. And I think
I'll put it in for you. I don't like it, but I will put it in just because I trust you. How about that?
I kind of like the Levis now. Yeah, I'm watching here. The thing is about the Colts or about the Titans last week, like they knew they didn't have to throw the ball ever. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like you go into that and be like, dude, we can just run it every time if we wanted to. You know what I mean? Like, so.
But is that going to be any different this week against the Colts? I mean, with Anthony Richardson, who hasn't done diddly.
I don't know.
Year?
I think Anthony Richardson gives a pushback at least. Do you know what I mean? At least like tries.
I mean, if he does,
I'm the biggest Colts dude there is. I kind of like Tennessee -2.5.
Yeah, me too. But again, he pushes like to where like you show up against Miami and like half the team can just stay on the bus. You know what I mean? Like well, you don't need everybody for this one. Like it's just go out there, do your thing. I don't think that's the way this way. I think they're gonna have to play a game. I'll be honest with you, man. Levis. I mean, I'm ready to get hurt again with that guy. I think we can go 250. Just see what happens.
He's terrifying to me because I don't think they want him.
Terrifying.
I think he's terrifying to them too. I think they don't want him dropping back a bunch.
Yeah, no.
But they did, and now they don't. You know,
they're like, oh yeah, this is why we don't want to do this. Let's
2 plus passing touchdowns is plus 182.
I think we just skip this game. I think we skip.
Yeah, I don't think that this belongs in a parlay.
No,
I don't want to be a Pollard pusher. And I'm not buying.
I don't want to be a Levis pusher.
Yeah.
All right. That's fair. Yeah. I don't want my bags packed on either guy.
Yeah, that's fair.
What? Let's hear. Any like Falcons? We talked about the Falcons Panthers game as being hot. Like we could probably add 1 or 2 legs from there. So.
Catches from London would be the first thing off the top of my head. Would be like, what's his reception?
London 8+ is plus 210. I think that was FanDuel's number.
That can happen.
Plus 250 on Caesars. I think that's nice. I mean, you can actually do on Caesars alt. I think alt longest is a thing. Yeah.
They do have alt longest.
Yeah, that is pretty sweet.
Mooney 30 plus is plus 220.
Oh, for Mooney?
Yeah.
I'd do that.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's twice. Yeah. 41 and 36. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate that. But I mean, I think there may be other ways too. I mean, I think even Mooney like 60+, right? Or 70+, or London catches, I think are probably
Kirk likes him. Like loves him.
I think those are the same thing. Deontay on the other side, like with a couple of games. I mean, last game against the Bears was a little quiet, but like 2 games before that, he had 13 targets in each of those games. So like
I'm in on
7+ catches.
Actually, to be honest, I think Deontay is going to see like 20 targets again. Like
I went to write up Deontay over 5.5 receptions, and then I saw that he was limited with an ankle injury. I think he's fine.
He's always injured, man. This guy's been injured every single game for his entire career.
Yep, and he left the game a couple weeks ago. I had him over 5.5. He had 5 receptions. He left the game. I'm like, dude, no, don't do it to me. And then he came back in and caught. So like, I don't know. For that, I'd play him again.
7+ is plus 190. 8+ is plus 360.
7+ is probably right.
All right.
And we come back with London in that too, or do you want to take some or maybe Mooney? I would say Mooney yards or London receptions would probably be my lead.
I put London receptions, but I'm open to
changing. I'm good with it. Just diversify.
Yep. All right, that's good. So we got a little Falcons Panthers action there. Anything in this Bengals Giants game? I mean, this game
I want a bunch. I want a couple things, but I don't know that they're out yet.
We got Wandale 54. It seems really high for a guy who's 8 out is like 3. But Darius Slayton 47.
Yes.
Is that where you're at? I mean, he saw like a 38% first read target share.
Yeah, Slayton uncorrelated was on my list. Slayton like longest.
Neighbors is out.
Neighbors is out. Yeah,
definitely
70 plus 225.
What is it?
Yeah, Danny Dimes appears to be like he only knows that he has one receiver. Like whichever the X or the Y, whichever one that is, like that's like it only him. Like so, if Neighbors were to play, Slayton would be literally running cardio out there, but he's not. So Slayton gets all the targets. We can go receptions.
We could go receptions too. I mean, I think it's fine either way. This Bengals defense is so bad that like they're just so bad. I mean,
I think Burrow will at least move the ball a little bit against the Giants. I mean, I think the Giants are like kind of good defensively. Like they're not that bad.
They're okay. You know, I mean, they're like,
Not good, but I'm telling you, they're not like they're not a pushover team where you're like, oh, dude, let's target everybody against these guys. Just like you can't. Like they're not that bad.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, I'm not saying they're like they're not the 85 Bears, but
I think okay, 6+ receptions for Slayton or 70 yards. I think I would go yards, but
I'd go yards.
Yeah, yards.
Okay.
I know we were cooking in the 6+ section. Like Jesus.
Yeah, that's too much
rich for my blood.
Do we want any like? It looks like both the running backs will play this week. Chase Brown is at 45. Zach Moss is at 44. Books don't really seem to know what to do. Noonan, you have a take? I think Chase is probably the way to go, right?
Chase is the way to go, dude. Chase like combo yards.
Okay, let me see.
Would be my lean. I don't think Zach Moss is 100% healthy. I think he was already getting, usurped here with the top roll. Brown's a little, I don't know, just got a little bit of spicy to him. I think that they don't have with Moss. So I think when we find the numbers, we've seen more work in the passing game for Brown as of late.
He's got some juice, like he can break a long one.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he just looks so much better than the other guy. Like it's him. Like, I don't really watch a lot of Bengals, you know what I mean? You know which one just caught the ball whenever you're looking, you're watching and you got the 4 screens up. When the running back catches the ball off the bat, that was him. It's not the Moss kid. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely Brown, just because he looks like he got shot out of a cannon.
We can do 80+ combined at +175, 90+ combined at +270. If that's interesting to you, his receiving game work has not been that much, just because I think Zach Moss is better in pass pro technically. But I mean, he's got 2 and 3 balls on 3 and 3 targets the last 2 weeks, so he will be used in the passing game.
Yeah, tougher opponents. I mean, do you have any juice against the Ravens team where no one's done much of anything against? This is pretty nice. So.
True.
Moss is out there more for sure because of the blocking, but I think he's dinged up. I'm surprised he's active. Like we were.
Yeah, we thought he'd be out. So
for sure.
Yeah, I think this is good. All right, so 80 is +175, 90 is +270. Fine.
I like 80. I like 80.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're getting close. Or let me see. We're at like, we still are at 125, $140 to win $1 million. It's just so hard to get to $1 million now.
It's tough to get to $1 million these days. Tough to make $1 million these days.
I mean,
yeah.
You hate to see it. So we need like 2 or 3 more big legs real quick that we can just pop off here.
What about Jaden Daniels?
Yes, let's do it.
I mean, we also don't have any Derrick Henry. And like,
oh yeah, both.
Yeah.
Run that back combo, Henry Daniels.
Yeah.
110+ for Henry.
Yes, sure.
Feels right.
All right, and then passing for Jaden Daniels here, we'll go with 275 +290. That's good. All right.
The other thing I liked in that game too is if we do see any sort of a pulse from the Commanders, every time we've seen like a non-blowout basically for the Ravens, Zay Flowers catches 6 balls, 7 balls.
Yeah.
I wanted to play his over at 4.5. It's a little juicy, but like Zay 6+ is what I have written down like +150, 160. That was a FanDuel line. Zay 6+ is +154. So
yeah, that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense playing it with Henry, since I think we're going with more of a run heavy game here, but I do like I think the note makes sense, because if it's flip flop or like you see the Commanders get up early, just like hammer some Zay receptions live.
Totally. Yeah.
We're like $22 to win $1 million. So
adjusting to that.
What's up?
Have you guys noticed that? I just want to ask that. Like, FanDuel has been like too good adjusting to that. One team gets up, you're like, so I go right into the receivers, and it's like, dude, you gotta be joking me. You don't need that the lines shoot up. So
different
my strategy's ruined.
Are way better at that than others.
Yeah, FanDuel's good. Like, I'll be honest, like they're good. So keep that.
What do we do for Jaden Daniels?
275+.
I think that can happen. What about his rushing?
I think it's a harder rush spot for him this week, but I mean, I also would not be surprised if he.
What's the numbers?
I think
high 40s
baseline. So he.
No, I'm good with that. Sorry.
You're already done. What about like Jaden Reed instead? We need one more leg. So we got our last leg here to get to like a reasonable amount to win $1 million.
Who are the Packers playing?
Cardinals. I like a lot of Jordan Jordan Love stuff.
I mean,
I don't think the Cardinals are good. I think they got so lucky last week. Like,
they're not good.
Lucky.
They're not
good. And I think they can give up points. They should have given up a lot more last week. They just got lucky. I don't know
Yeah.
how lucky they're going to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's another good matchup for Jaden Reed. I mean, Dobbs is playing. Watson looks, questionable. Like Jaden Reed's just been like the guy there. Awesome matchup. I mean, we're at
So we just do Jordan Love 300 plus 250.
Feels right.
You want to do that?
Or 275 plus is plus 138. We don't have to whack-a-mole the receiver. We just know that Jordan Love cooks against cover 3, and that's what they're going to see.
All right, cool. I'm going to fire that sucker in there. And I think we're good. We are okay. So at 300 or 275, we'll do 300. That's fine. All right. We only need. Fuck, why does this thing suck so bad? I mean, it's just like $6 to win a milli, so we're in a good spot.
I don't know. I missed. Do we have 10 legs?
12 legs.
Okay, I missed something. All right. I'll get it when you put it out.
I'll tweet it out. Don't worry. I mean, just to recap it here.
Dogs are ready.
All right. So to recap, we got Slayton 70, Brown 80 combo, Tolbert 6 plus, Jahmyr Gibbs 80 plus, London 8 plus receptions, Deontay 7 plus receptions, Derrick Henry 110 plus, Jaden 275 plus, Jordan Love 300 plus passing, AJ Brown 100 plus, Caleb Williams 300 plus passing, and Breece Hall 5 plus receptions.
Nice.
Feels like $1 million, dude.
That's $1 million written all over it.
I missed.
Can you imagine what they're gonna do when we win that?
Oh man!
I think they might send someone to try to kill us because like they're gonna be very mad.
Yeah, Uncle Caesar's about to be pissed. I mean, he was already mad. He called in, the phones to make sure Amari Cooper sold last week and didn't get us on our next legs. It didn't matter because Pickens was just apparently not available, and some other legs didn't hit, but it felt good. We were feeling good there. I think going into the games, that's all you can ask for. So
exactly. I mean, you just got to get to the next window, and we did. It's just we didn't get any further than that, but we should have though.
Yeah, Cooper. I mean, like 12 targets, got 4 balls. So
yeah, but he was there. He had 60 and like kind of early in the third quarter.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like not that early, but still early enough to where you're like, oh, cool. They're still losing, so we're just getting nothing with Cooper, and he never caught another ball.
I was mad. I'm not gonna lie.
We were almost there. Yeah, I really wanted to be a millionaire.
The books are in cahoots. Obviously, Jordan Mason last night. That was the books.
The books. They all got together and told him not to go back in.
Vegas, bro.
Vegas.
I love that. That's my favorite.
Government.
FanDuel made the call. That's what they keep saying that.
Government took a break from generating tornadoes to.
They were making all those hurricanes to kill the Republican voters.
Yep.
Yeah. It's tough, man. It's tough. They got a lot to do, man.
It's a lots of busy gig, man.
Football games.
The biggest conspiracy that I've seen lately has been with the deep state and the mainstream media holding GRP wins, not talking about his Sam Darnold comeback player of the year and Jaden Daniels MVP tickets. So, poor GRP is getting, buried by the mainstream media. It's time we shine the light on that,
Yep, exactly. Well, I mean, they are in cahoots. I mean, that's what the media does. So they all get together and just figure out what we're going to talk about. So
they love to see it.
No one wants to tell you.
Conspiracy theories, $1 million parlays. That's what the show's about.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, this is basically like the new Alex Jones. Except there's 3 of us. Yeah, pretty much.
Do we have move the line tinfoil hats, or is that like too much asked for?
Move the line. I'm not afraid to talk about the things that no one wants to talk about. Okay, and like just that's our lot in life, guys.
The uncomfortable subjects, the harsh realities that are out there on the streets that they don't want to tell you in school.
The Twitter streets where Slop's getting doxxed.
Oh man, it's bad. It's tough out there, dude. There was a picture of my wife today about public. A picture from a newspaper, like with my kids. I was like, dude, that was in a newspaper, just so you know, that was circulated for free to the public. So I'd be shocked. I'd be more confused if you couldn't get that picture. You know what I mean? Like you're posting it like, oh, look at me. It's like, so what are you saying? You got Google? You know what I mean? Like, I think everybody does.
What was someone mad at you about? That mad? Like one of your parlays lost?
I said that I was out on Lieutenant Dan. He's kind of a dirtbag now. Like I was looking for a
not
hero.
a good guy.
Yeah, I was looking for a hero, and it turns out like I think he set a chick on fire or tried to.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Punched a EMT, which is all fine if it happened like 20 years ago. You know what I mean? Like you tell that story and you and your buddies like, wow, that's hilarious, dude. You set a chick on fire 20 years ago. If you did it like 3 years ago or like pretty recently, you're still on probation for it, not that funny. You know what I mean? That's the way shit works. It's not my fault. But yeah, I was out on him and I was like, I'd hang out with him. He can't be my hero. That's all I'm saying.
In a former life, I worked with a lot of drug addicts and people who did that. I mean, he's a crackhead. He's got the crack
people
chin.
get wild when they're on drugs.
You know, he's got the chin. Like you can tell that he's just like a serious like crack user. Like that's just
the guy likes drugs. Like I don't have a problem with it, but I just can't. Again, I can't have a hero that's a crackhead. You know what I mean? Like that's my bad. Like, I didn't really research the guy. I only looked at pictures. I thought, yeah, he probably looks like a stand-up guy living in a sailboat, saying that he's going to ride out a hurricane, a Cat 5 at the time, in that sailboat. And I was like, dude, this guy is awesome. And then come to find out, like, he's not that awesome. Like, I don't know, he's not the worst guy in the world, but just, again, not a hero. So anyways, this dude didn't like that. He got mad at me and then said something about, like, selling picks that have no chance of hitting. I'm just like, buddy, hit him with the picket, which I love that. Like, I get to post my picket now. And then that's when he got like started DMing me, telling me he was outside of my house and stuff. It's like, dude, no, you're not, because you would be buried in my yard if you were. You know, you're not coming to my house. You're not calling. He calls me over and over and over, but from a private number. Like he would never call me from his number. And yeah, dude, it got weird, man. I was like, buddy, stop calling me. But then I found a setting on the Android that it just will, like you don't even know when an unknown number calls you. It logs, like, so you can see it in your phone logs, but it never rings. So I was like, that was sweet. Kind of taught me a lesson. So I thanked him for that. And he got mad. But yeah, I found out his real name today. And I sent him a couple things, just, you know, using his name, Sam. And he deleted both of his accounts. Like apparently, apparently he's in big trouble for like doing something wherever he lives. I'm not gonna say anymore, but like, yeah. So he did not want to get into more trouble, so he just deleted everything. So like, all right, sweet.
This is wild. I mean,
yeah, just fun, dude.
You're like on the fringe of restraining orders over gambling Twitter. Yeah, like,
I was thinking about
not backing a crackhead.
Can you imagine that? Yeah, just because I don't want to have a hero be a crackhead. I'm sorry. What do you want me to do, dude? Like, I'm sorry. You know?
That's so good.
But I will say, I feel compelled to say that the Lieutenant Dan guy, not the same pedo that's in Illinois. Different guy. Because people were coming in being like, oh, he's a pedo. It's like, no, that's messed up. He's not. He's wild. He has a lot of mugshots. None were for that. All right. And then if you look the name, I see where they're getting it from because he has a different middle name as the guy, the pedo. But the pedo is in prison for like 120 years. This guy is in a boat high on crack, you know what I'm saying, in Tampa right now. So like they're obviously different people. You know what I mean? So you should be able to put two and two together. Like, they're not the same guy. But
yeah, for everybody.
Yeah, so fun week so far, man. Like I mean, it's only what's today? Friday?
Yeah. I'm gonna go
a couple more days.
Hit some golf balls, try and not think about Lieutenant Dan or, you know, but I'm gonna picture when we win $1 million. So it'll be great.
Okay. We'll get a boat and we'll go to Tampa and see.
We should name it Lieutenant Dan.
He's getting a new boat from one of those streamers. He's gonna give him a bunch of money and they're gonna give him a boat. So
they
canceled it. On the come up.
They canceled it. Did you see
that?
Oh
no, really? I thought that was for something else, a different guy.
No, they canceled it because he's a scumbag, like you're saying. Like he's just
dude, sometimes that stinks, man. I guess, like I said, if the setting that chick on fire was like 15 more years ago, he'd probably be fine. You know what I'm saying? Statute of limitations run out on that stuff. But
we don't even know what she did. Like I don't want to like.
That's what I'm saying. Like I want to find like I think that charge got dropped too. So I don't know. Look up Lieutenant Dan because he would probably be in prison for that if that really did happen. You know what I mean? Like I think it was some sort of misunderstanding.
Yeah, he allegedly
gasoline and just this weird stuff was happening. It was a weird time. You know, they were probably both high on crack. Like, who knows?
Oh my god!
But yeah, stuff happens. But anyways, not a pedo. That's all I'm saying. But also not a hero. So
pedophiles, crackheads, vacuums. We've kind of covered.
You get it all.
The majority of it today. Conspiracy theories. Government and sports books.
Chemtrails.
Solidifying unders. Yeah, this is a good show.
I think we covered it all.
9-10 minutes. Yeah. And we built you $1 million, 6 winners, and then $1 million ticket at the end. I mean, gosh, please subscribe.
Yeah.
Don't just hang out and not subscribe. Like we just gave you a lot. It was free. All we need you just got to click a button. Like or subscribe to 4 for 4, even better. Then we can talk about this stuff all the time. Like I can give you lots of recommendations for lots of things. Today was vacuums. Who knows what you could need a recommendation for tomorrow, what you can get. So only way to find out is to subscribe. Check that out. So we appreciate everyone for hanging out with us today. Find Slop on Twitter at Slop Rules. You can find him on YouTube. Just Google John Hyslop. That's his actual name. And you will find out lots of other content, government name, lots of other Slop content on YouTube. He's all over the place. Get that. You can get you already have the picket slip from Slop. If you can get the Dub Club, get all that stuff. You can find Connor and I, as always, on 4 for 4. Subscribe. Take advantage of the rebate deal. More information in the show notes for Connor and Slop. I'm Ryan. We'll see y'all soon. Thanks, everybody.